you in the news. I get your face in the news that they show them how you are manipulating your system.
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you are sleeping. Well, we can't deny that Dr. Now's lines and comebacks have become some of the most memorable quotes from My 600-Pound Life, on which you can always count on. He can give a shut-up call at the face and even shut down a water weight excuse or any other ridiculousness. In today's video, you are going to look back on some savage moments of Dr. Now on My 600-Pound Life. David Benji. On And Where Are They Now episode, we saw David Benji has made a ton of progress since his episode with David in Season 6. Actually, from his starting weight, he has lost over 300 pounds, but during an appointment with Dr. Now, it revealed that over the last few months, he has gained 27 pounds and gone from 218 back up to 245. After knowing this, Dr. Now wasn't pleased with him that his progress was going downhill, and therefore, he advised Benji that he should start going to psychotherapy. But it seemed that Benji was more interested in speeding along with his skin removal surgery. So, to see this, Dr. Now asked him in a sarcastic tone whether Benji has a medical degree that Dr. Now doesn't know about. Someone isn't coming slow. Joyce Dell. In the last 6 weeks, her near-zero activity level is definitely not helping, because Joyce has put on a lot of weight. She even claimed that she has been doing really good with her eating habits and doing everything that she's supposed to. But apparently during the car ride, having her lymphedema and setting up the law has magically created 60 pounds of water weight. Dr. Now also told her that she is not going to live much longer if she keeps up her shenanigans. During her appointment, she started getting dramatic and said that she is getting dizzy and that she thinks she's having a heart attack. To add more fire in it, she dramatically flopped her head over to the side, and Dr. Now noted that it doesn't seem like you are having a heart attack. When she gave a sign with a sigh, Dr. Now savagely said, "Now, you look like you are having a heart attack." Anginette Whaley. She was pretty shocked and upset on her very first appointment after knowing that her weight is 679 pounds at 5-1. She was the one who had one of the highest BMI that Dr. Now has ever seen on the show. Due to all that weight at 5'1", she has extremely limited mobility, as she could just barely walk the short distances, which usually leaves her out of breath. She in fact pointed out her lack of mobility as the main reason when it comes to discussing her diet and challenges with her eating habits. But Dr. Now is Dr. Now right. He didn't buy that statement and called it a lame excuse, and finally asked if it's really much harder to walk to a salad than it is to a pizza. Damn. Savage. Holly Hager. Holly was hoping her latest progress will be enough to get her approved for surgery after she and her fiancé made the move down to Houston. In 2 months, she unfortunately only lost 18 pounds out of her 50 pounds weight loss goal given by Dr. Now, which was even less than the last time. Well, from the start, the appointment definitely did not go, so Dr. Now refused to play along with Holly's constant playing dumb and to pretend that she has no idea why she isn't losing any weight. She thought that if she acts dumb, it will get her to come clean about how she's been giving in to her obsessive cravings for chocolate. But Dr. Now wasn't in the mood to buy such a non-serious excuse and pointed out that that implies chocolate is apparently more important than her staying alive. If she seriously think that way, then sorry Holly, but you are seriously dumb. Angie Jays. The contestant from Season 7 episode was kind of a train wreck. By the way, if you can't believe whatever I said, then her video call with Dr. Now towards the end of the episode will make you believe that that is a prime example of that. She went into a local clinic to get her weight checked just 5 months after her first appointment, and she did her follow-up call with Dr. Now to let him know the results. But he immediately knew that things are a little off, despite the fact that she hasn't even met her weight goal. Because he noticed during the video call that Angie seemed to be high as a kite when she started making excuses, being all weird and sassy. In fact, during the call, Dr. Now brought out some spicy comebacks of his own and even asked her, "Are you on drugs? Because you seem high." I guess Dr. Now has no filters. Here, take a look.
Angie, looked like you've been under the influence of a drug. Are you
Shen Murray. So, by the end of Shni's episode, it was clear that for her weight loss surgery, she wasn't truly willing to make the changes in lifestyle. Well, it became apparent when Dr. Now busted her for cheating on her diet. Actually, it happened when she stayed at the hospital under his supervision and Dr. Now found an empty pizza box in another patient's trash bin. Then he talked about it with his staff members and found out that that empty pizza box was indeed from Sheni's room. When he confronted her, her boyfriend Freddie jumped into the conversation and took all the blame on himself by saying that it belongs to him. Dr. Now didn't buy that he ate the pizza and tried making Shni admit to her cheating, but she didn't take it and kept lying. Then both eventually started arguing about whether eating junk food makes you gain weight or not. But it is the fact that Shni was being delusional, therefore, she wasn't taking accountability that she cheated. So, at last, Dr. Now gave her the warning to either commit to the program or leave the show, and guess what? She chose the second option. James King. All of James's actions and behaviors were giving a crystal clear sign that he was not a little bit interested in transforming his life by adopting some healthy habits. But if you ask me, then however I would say that isn't entirely his fault, as his wife Lisa was the one to blame. Because despite the Dr. Now's several attempts and counseling sessions, she, being his wife, played the role of most evil woman in his life, as she was totally sabotaging James's weight loss plan. Then Dr. Now reported most of the time that Lisa is guilty for all that, as she was feeding James junk food whether he demanded it or not. Due to Lisa's nonsense behavior, the doctor and all the medical members were so fed up with her that they asked the hospital staff to guard James's room and not allow anyone to meet him, especially his evil wife. At last, Dr. Now called Adult Protective Services on James King's girlfriend after giving her so many warnings for bringing food for him. Well, during his episode, when James was arguing that food has nothing to do with his weight, so Dr. Now gave him a shut-up call with the most savage reply that, "What do you think your weight comes from? Thin air."
can give me the same story again, and you think I'm gonna believe you?
Lee and Renee. This couple actually met each other in a bariatric clinic where Lee went to transform his lifestyle when he started thinking due to his weight he is losing his mobility. Even he knew back then that he needed to get help, but instead of that he met Renee there and the two fell in love since then. They left the clinic to become each other's enablers for lifetime, and lovers continued to let their overweight spiral out of their control together. But when they decided to meet Dr. Now to seek his help, they were enabling themselves to death, which led them to a dangerous situation. Among the two, Lee Sutton had some anger issues as he was abusive to his partner, both verbally and physically, and this behavior of him became evident fairly early on the show. Once the situation became quite worse, Dr. Now sent him to see a therapist so he could control himself. Just before that incident, Dr. Now even criticized Lee because he was giving unbelievable excuses for not losing weight that he couldn't stand for. But when he said that he didn't want to be malnourished, Dr. Now had to say, "Do you look like you're malnourished?" In fact, at one point, at the very beginning of the appointment, Dr. Now asked, "How's you doing?" Lee replied, "Surviving." Dr. Now sarcastically replied, "Oh, that's why you missed your last appointment." Stephen Asante. Stephen Asante became one of the show's most controversial patients ever following his first appearance on My 600-Pound Life in 2017. He was the one who, on top of his enormous weight of 734 pounds, will mainly be remembered for his manipulative, obnoxious and abusive behavior towards everyone around him. Not just that, he was also struggling with painkiller addiction, which made him one of Dr. Now's most challenging patients ever. By the way, Stephen once called 911 during his update episode, saying he was in pain and needed to go to the hospital, but since that was obviously just another act to get a refill on his pain medication. When Dr. Now got to know about it, he got so annoyed and even yelled at the paramedics for bringing Stephen him to the hospital and even listening in the first place. So Dr. Now wanted the paramedics to simply take Stephen back. Since he had made a deal with the fire department that they should call him before transporting this patient, Dr. Now took him into the hospital to have a talk, and the surgeon did not mince his words and said on his face that he would not only cancel his insurance, but would also call the cops if he even again pulled one more stunt like this. Not just that, Dr. Now eventually dismissed Stephen and told him that he would end up in jail or dead if he continued on this path.
Get you on the news. I'll get your face in the news that they show them how you are manipulating your system.
Well, that's all guys for today with the savage moments of Dr. Now on My 600 Pound Life. Thank you for watching the video.